guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be interviewing the younger Molly. So I'm going to be asking myself some questions that I have been asked on my blog page about what children with ADHD usually ask their parents, but their parents don't know the answers because they don't have ADHD. Explain it in a way that I know children are going to be able to relate with. I'm not going to use big boring words. We're going to use quick, short, fun, entertaining ways of explaining what ADHD is. So let's get on with the video.
No, Mum, no. No.
What is ADHD? Can you give me, Molly, an explanation of what you thought ADHD was and how it felt in your mind being a young ADHDer? So ADHD makes me feel that I haven't got any control over my emotions and how I feel. I sometimes feel that nobody understands me, and when I want to communicate and tell someone how I feel, I sometimes get angry because I don't know how to tell people how I feel. I can't stop it sometimes. That's how I think ADHD is in my head. Molly, can you tell me your opinion on why people may not like you, and explain to me why you feel like you can't make friends? So I sometimes feel like people don't want to be my friend because I don't know how to share, and if you're my friend, I don't like other people being your friend because I feel that you will just forget about me and I won't ever be your friend again. So people don't like it because I can get angry and a bit loud and boisterous, and people just don't like that, I think. What sort of things have affected you, Molly, growing up with ADHD? So I'm a little bit older. This is a bit of an older Molly here. The future is totally in your hands. ADHD doesn't affect your future. It may make it a little bit harder, but if you want something, you have to go all out and really try your hardest to chase your dream. But as long as you've got a good family and you're kind to others and you've got a good heart, you're going to get where you want to be. You just have to believe in yourself. ADHD will never stop you being a pilot, a superhero, you know, a scientist, anything. If you want to be that, follow your dreams and you can achieve anything, and it is reachable. You don't need to ever worry about ADHD affecting who you are. You're always going to be good enough. So, Molly, can you explain to me what your opinion is on will ADHD affect you driving and passing your theory test? I'm 22 and I can say I've passed my driving test. It was very hard, you know, focusing and concentration and commitment. When you take the theory test, you have to really revise, and things don't naturally come to us with ADHD. We do have to, you know, pursue things and work hard. So all I'm going to say is you can get your driving licence, you can pass your theory test, work hard, and you can do that. It doesn't matter how many times you have to sit and take that theory test. Be determined, motivated, and believe in yourself, and you can, and just drive safe. Molly, can you tell me why you feel people may shout at you and they may not necessarily understand the way you choose to communicate? So when you say why do people shout at me, you with ADHD, me with ADHD, I think people shout at me and you because they don't necessarily understand our ADHD, and our way of communicating can be quite strong. You know, we sometimes come across demanding, nasty, naughty, but really behaviour is a type of communication, and if we're not feeling comfortable or anxiety's bad or we feel that we're misunderstood, we sometimes choose to communicate in ways that others may find naughty or nasty or loud or demanding. So make sure you always try your hardest to communicate. It is hard, you know, I know. Put your hand up and say, Miss, please may I take 5 minutes out, or please may I speak to you outside, I'm struggling. So I had a timeout card at school which allowed me to put it up in the air and say, I'm going to take 5 minutes out. But you need to not take advantage of that. You need to make sure that, you know, when you do put that timeout card, you use it for the right reasons, because if people start to learn and trust you, that is when people are willing to help. So, you know, you need to respect people, and if people don't respect you, then you need to speak up and speak to somebody else. Yeah. Speak to someone that understands you, explain yourself. If that means drawing, draw how you feel in your mind, write it down. If you can't talk verbally, I'm better at writing than I am speaking. So yeah, I say, if you do feel that you're being picked on and shouted at more than someone without ADHD, I say go speak to your mum, your dad, your older brothers and sisters, another teacher, your grandparents. Speak to someone you know you can trust. Why is school hard for us that have ADHD? So I think school is hard for us with ADHD because the environment that we're in isn't necessarily ADHD friendly. There's so many distractions and loud noises, and you know, this YouTube channel I'm trying to raise the awareness for ADHD because it doesn't have enough, you know, and teachers and head teachers and some, you know, people in general just don't know enough about ADHD to be able to help us in that environment. So I think school is always going to be hard, but you need to get the right support and speak up and ask for help, because asking for help is not a weakness. Actually, it makes you strong because you're putting yourself first and you're putting yourself as a priority, and people will respect that. School, you just need to make sure, you know, you're attending lessons on time, you're not mucking around, and if you are, then you need to speak to someone about the triggers, and you need to start maybe understanding your own triggers. But academically, we are a little behind, but never feel that you're dumb because you're not. ADHD is just a label, so when it comes to ADHD, get that out of your head because that's not going to make you dumb. So if you're finding something hard, that's not your ADHD making you find that hard. ADHD can actually be a benefit because you can hyper focus and you can think outside the box. So always think positive, and hopefully school will be a better environment for you once you speak to an adult or someone you trust. So Molly, because you have ADHD and you're at secondary school, can you tell me, do you think your GCSEs will be harder because you have ADHD? So I think GCSEs are hard for everyone, but I do understand, because I've been there, ADHD makes revision one of those things that you just don't want to do. It's almost impossible. It's like, if you don't like Brussels sprouts, it's like making yourself eat Brussels sprouts and you don't like them. It's one of those things that is just very hard, but you need to think, you know, put yourself first and think about your future. If you want to be successful, you really have to put time into your studies. But this is one thing I always try to drill into myself and my younger sister. Your grades do not determine your future. You know, it's great to have great grades. I mean, if you've got A's, that's incredible. B's incredible. C's incredible. D's incredible. If you tried your hardest, that's all that matters. But you know, if you academically struggle, there's going to be jobs out there that will love your practical side. You might be able to build, you can draw, you can go on the computer, you can edit. You know, there's things out there for you. GCSEs are hard, but yeah, you have to find your niche, and niche kind of means you have to find what you love doing, and once you find that passion, you're going to succeed, I promise you. So Molly, what's your opinion on ADHD medication? Will it make you better, or what is your opinion? Will medication make ADHD go away? ADHD medication is a tricky subject to answer because it's different for everybody. My opinion is it does make you better. It doesn't get rid of ADHD. ADHD is always going to be inside your mind. And if you're lucky enough, you're going to be able to grow up and learn to control it, but not everybody does. Medication gives you that little bit of a boost. Sometimes that little bit of medication can make you feel that much better. It can make you be able to sit in a classroom, even just for 20 minutes, and get a little bit of work done. So it all depends on you and your parents' opinion, but I definitely think medication, for me, can make you better. But I do believe that doctors would not give it to you if they thought it wasn't going to help you. So please don't use that and take that as Molly's telling me to. For you and your parents, and you agree that's your best option, totally go ahead and try it. There's nothing bad's going to happen to you. But if you don't agree with medication, fine, you know, I totally understand. I'm 22 and I've only just, like, last year started medication, so that's for you. If not, you can get therapy, cognitive, you know, there's many ways that you can get help, not just with ADHD medication, is what I'm trying to say. So, Molly, does ADHD affect your relationship with your parents? Will ADHD affect me and my parents' relationship? Yes, it will. I'm not going to lie, it does, because...
I won't lie, it does.
So my mum's just behind the camera, obviously. But yes, it does affect your parents' relationship with you and your relationship with your parents and siblings as well. Not just... Actually, your relationship with everybody is going to be hard. And it doesn't come naturally. If you're watching this, you've got ADHD and you'll know it doesn't come naturally. But you need to always, like I say, I think the main thing out of this video is you need to communicate. Make sure you're telling people how you feel, and you're getting it across in a way that isn't angry, nasty. You're just saying it because you need to make sure people understand how you feel. And once they do that, hopefully it can help you. You know, if you tell someone you're upset, hopefully not everyone will help you, but your parents will help you and your siblings will help you. I say relationships can be strained, yes, and it can be hard, and your parents can get angry, but they always have your best intentions at heart. They don't like seeing you upset and distressed and in trouble. They don't want people to think you're a bad person. They're only trying to help you, and you need to remember that. They love you, they only want what's best for you, and it does get tough, but trust me, when you grow up, you'll learn that they've only ever wanted what is best for you. I promise you, you're going to be fine. Your parents will love you. Every mistake you make, your parents will love you. And once you make mistakes, it's a journey through life, and hopefully those bumps in life will make you a better person as you grow older. You'll start to think, okay, that's when my ADHD is bad, so I'm not going to do that. So yeah, basically yes, it does make it hard, but you're going to be okay. Molly, can you give me your opinion and how you feel when you have a meltdown? Can you explain to me how it makes you feel to have a meltdown? A meltdown is different for everybody, I think. I think everyone has a unique experience with anxiety and meltdowns. But when you have a meltdown, my advice is to, you know, sit with someone you trust.
The thing is, when you're having it, yourself, your feelings in your stomach, you say to me, you feel sick, you feel angry, you feel upset, you feel...
And it overtakes everything, you can't control it. But what I suggest you do is go to a safe place like your bedroom, the garden, wherever,
place?
Under the stairs, anywhere you find is your safe place that you feel happy. Go on your iPad, read a book, cuddle your dog, you know, try and find a safe place that you feel that you can try and do deep breaths. Focus on something so that you're not thinking about what's going on. So my safe place is my mum's bedroom. I go sit on my mum's bed, turn the TV onto YouTube, and I draw. I go on my iPad and I draw and I cuddle my dog, Woody. Don't ever think you need to punish yourself for feeling like that. Always speak to an adult, cuddle your mum, cuddle your dad. Try and just think, you know, it's gonna stop soon. You know, it only lasts a little while, and breathe, and you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. It takes a little time, and once you learn where your safe place is, you're going to be fine. But that's hormones, and you might know what hormones are. If you don't, you're too young to know. Yeah. But hormones are a crazy thing for teenagers, and when you get older, they get a little bit more...
Even adults.
Yeah. Just as you get older, you know, hormones start to go zzz, and it fires up your anxiety, it fires up your anger, and it can... like a volcano go, you know. It does sometimes have to have a release. You know, that stress will be a little bit gone, not always, because it does last sometimes it can last hours or the whole day. Sometimes you wake up in a bad mood. So Molly, what's your advice and your opinion to others who associate ADHD with, you know, prison, people that are in prison or ASBOs? Just because you have ADHD, do you believe you're necessarily all going to end up in prison? ADHD will not at all mean you're going to end up in prison. You know, I've got ADHD and I've never been in trouble with the police in my whole entire life, so I'm that statistic. I can prove to you that you're not going to end up in prison if you don't want to be in prison. You know, it may come a time where you do get in a little bit of trouble, and you can't blame that on ADHD. ADHD does make things hard, yes, and it does make your behaviour quite challenging, but as you get older, you learn to control those triggers and those impulsiveness. ADHD will not mean you're definitely going to end up in prison. That's your choices. You can either do something, you know, you can take one path or you take the other path. That's down to you. So yeah, I think ADHD, no, you won't end up in prison. You have to take control of your own actions and take responsibility for your actions. Again, be determined and motivated, believe in yourself, and you will not end up in prison. So, Molly, can you give me some helpful advice or tips, to give younger people with ADHD? So my advice to anyone who have ADHD or autism, as I'm not sure if all of you know, but I am going to be tested for autism soon. I'm on the waiting list. So, ADHD and autism are kind of when they're not the same thing. No, they're not. They're completely different, but they are the same in many ways. But what my advice to you guys is, just because you have a disability, it doesn't mean that you're not good enough. Always believe that you're worth more than being treated like rubbish. You need to be treated like a king or a queen. You don't deserve to be treated any less than anybody else because of your disability. Your disability, use it as your ability to create a better place and environment for people that may not necessarily have the strength or the confidence to help people. If you have ADHD and you know that there's another child with ADHD at school, just be their friend. That's all they need. Sometimes you just need a little friend. Just be their friend. So that's my number one. Be nice, be kind, and always respect yourself and others. That's my first advice. Whatever age you are, that still applies. Never be nasty. Always be kind. Yeah. So number two, I would say, when times get a little bit stressful and tough in your house or in the supermarket, with your parents, try to always just say you love them, because words hurt. They do hurt parents, and they hurt your siblings, and they do hurt teachers, In any environment that you're in, when times get tough, don't try your hardest to not say horrible things, because that hurts, and that it hurts, because, it is hard, but they love you, and they only want what is best for you. And if you're at home and you can get to that safe place we were talking about, go there, relax, chill out, have some time on your own. You will always love your parents, and you will always need your parents. So don't push them away. Always talk and communicate clearly with your parents, because they are your number one fans. They love you, and they're going to accept you all the time. Because you have a disability, you don't see your parents not love you because of that. They're always going to love you. So respect them and love them, because they're only trying to help. Number three, my advice is, when things get tough and you make mistakes, for example, let's just say you were at school and you were having a brilliant week, you had no behaviour points or no detentions or break time detentions, and then you have a little bump and you get in trouble, you get a detention. Don't beat yourself up about it. Don't worry. Say sorry, apologise, and explain why you did what you did clearly, and accept the consequences, because you need to understand that every behaviour has a consequence, and it might be fun at the time and you might be having a laugh, but you have to be responsible and remember that the consequences are down to you, not to anybody else. You need to remember that, even though you have ADHD, don't ever say, oh, I done it because of my ADHD, because no one's ever going to respect you or help you when times are really tough for your ADHD. Accept the consequences and learn from them. Learn from them. That's my biggest regret, is not learning from my mistakes at school and carrying on doing what I was doing. Advice to you is, please just take 2 minutes out and listen and try to take constructive criticism as a good thing, and try to better yourself rather than beat yourself up. It might be a mistake. Apologise, explain to your parents, explain to the teachers, and move on. It's easy to blame ADHD, I know, but it's not that. You need to always make sure that you're willing to accept the consequences. So if you have the time to think before you do something, think. Start fresh tomorrow or the next lesson. My advice, again, number 4, is I suggest to you, when you find a passion or a hobby, don't give up on it, Try and stay committed to something. It's hard, trust me, it's hard. I went through brownies, army cadets, all these different clubs, and I could not stick to it, and I regret that to this day. So my advice to you would be, try your hardest to
Stick at something.
Yeah, stick at a hobby. 5, I'm aiming this to my viewers that are probably older than 13. 13, 14, kind of that age. So making friends is hard, and having ADHD is hard. So when you combine those two, obviously you're going to get a negative outcome, and friends are really hard, and you don't naturally fit in, and that's okay, because...
And that's what you're trying to say, it's okay to...
It's okay to not fit in, it's okay to be different, it's okay to not have...
Be the norm.
Yeah, it's okay to not be invited to parties, it's okay not to be academically gifted. It's okay because you don't want to be that, you want to be you, and you need to accept who you are, because when you're old, as you go older, accepting who you are gives you a great benefit, because I haven't, I'm 22 now, and I've only just begun to understand and accept myself for who I am and my ADHD. So I say, as you start getting older and people start being criticising your looks, weight, anything, because they do, people are nasty like that, you will get people say things to you. Don't take it to heart because you're good enough. Just remember, if someone wants to be your friend but they want to change who you are, tell you, oh shush, you're embarrassing me, then they're not your friend. You need to no.
Don't ever change.
No, don't change for anyone, because it's not worth it, because it damages your heart. Your heart needs to come first. Your mental health needs to come first. And, it might not happen the first time. You might think, oh, I'll change because it didn't affect me last time. But if you keep changing, you start to live a web of lies. And trust me, it happens. You start to tell people you do drugs, you drink, you smoke, because you want to fit in, and you don't want to do that, because you're not going to really know who you are. And the best thing about, becoming older, you get a little bit more responsibility. And if you're lying about who you are, people are going to be, oh, I don't trust you.
Yeah.
And you just want to start afresh tomorrow. In the morning, look in the mirror and say, I'm good enough. I don't need to change. Do that every day before you go to school, college, work, and you'll start believing it. Just believe in yourself, love yourself, accept who you are, and others will respect you, because you won't accept it. You won't accept people treating you like rubbish, because you don't deserve it, and you won't let it, because you know you're worth more. So yeah, that's my 5 tips of advice. So Molly, because you've been through school, can you tell me if you've ever had any experience with bullying in school and outside of school? Can you give me a little rough, quick explanation? Experience with bullying, I've had that not only as a younger Molly but as present Molly as well. Bullying happens when people are jealous of you and when they don't understand you. And ADHD is something no one really understands what ADHD is unless you have it, or if you have a child with it or a family member with ADHD. So I don't want to scare people because it's not about that, but bullying can happen everywhere, not just school. Bullying happens workplaces, outside of school, work, college. It happens everywhere. But you need to be strong enough to stick up for yourself, not fighting. I don't promote fighting. I mean, say, no, you're not going to treat me like that, and don't let people treat you like that. ADHD doesn't make you different. It makes you, it just makes you who you are, unique. That doesn't mean you're different. It just means you're you. So if you're being bullied, I suggest you talk to an adult, completely speak to an adult. That's the first thing you need to do. Do not let them upset you.
Don't retaliate. No,
do not fight, do not punch them, do not hurt them, do not say anything back. Just walk away. The bigger person always walks away. So my advice would be, speak to an adult. Secondly, walk away. Thirdly, sticks and stones may break your bones, but names will never hurt you.
But it can be tough, Mol.
Oh yeah.
It's tough.
No, I was just about to say, I've dealt with bullying, and I'm dealing with bullying now,
Exactly, it's your situation.
I'm 22 and I'm still being bullied, so it doesn't go away. You need to be strong enough to think, I'm better than that.
Yeah.
I don't believe that I'm weird. I don't believe that I'm stupid. I'm just lucky to have ADHD, and you need to get that mindset too, and one day you could be, you could be the next person up in space. People can just be jealous of your talent, so you just need to embrace them and just tell people basically, I don't care about your opinion, so bye. That's all you really need to do. because you're better than them and you're amazing, you're beautiful, you're everything, you're you, and
don't change.
No, that's good enough. That's good enough. You do not need to be anybody else. Don't change for anyone. You're perfect the way you are. Your parents love you.
It's
family.
the bullies who's got something wrong.
Exactly. The bullies are the people that have something wrong with them, not you. So, yeah. So, thank you for watching, guys. I want you to smash a big thumbs up down below and like, share and subscribe to my channel so we can get this raising awareness malarkey all going, so we can keep sharing and keep raising awareness so that people can start helping us on our journey to get an ADHD more well known, more help for those children with ADHD, as I feel like we need more support so that we can, you know, reach our goal of making ADHD more well known in the world, you know, for everywhere. We need to make sure ADHD is autism, and we need to make sure that we get a clear, you know, people start to understand what ADHD is in a different environments. So yeah, remember, just smash a thumbs up, keep subscribing, share on your social medias, follow me on Instagram at Molly Dridge, follow me on Twitter at Molly's Mayhem, you know, Facebook, me, myself and ADHD. Give me a follow, a like, and we can have a chat on there. And if there's any questions you want me to answer, send them to me and we can do that. So thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.